a lot of times the ex that you're going after isn't growing. The whole reason they're getting broken up with is because the person doesn't want to face the issues. I tell them, hey, you should grow, you should change, but that ain't gonna do a single fucking thing to get that person back, other than if they can sense like a different energy out.
That energy takes time too. Like you have to establish a new pattern of behavior, and if the person you're trying to get back isn't mentally ready for that, then they might sabotage the process too. So I heard you had a crazy week, Benny.
I did. So I've been having this saga with cars. So I've got 3 sports cars. Okay. And I can't ever have them all at one time. I've got like 2 pictures with all 3 cars at one time.
What kind of karma are you working through, Benny?
It's like, you got to have 3 just to have one that you can drive, because they're always in the shop, if you're doing custom stuff to it. And it's been crazy. But the latest chapter in the crazy story is that I had to hire a PI this week to track down one of my cars. Okay. So I have this Camaro that I put a ton of money into. I've done all this kind of work, tricking it out. And I had somebody put a keyless entry system in it that's aftermarket. So they have to fuck with the electrical. So whoever put this in messed it all up, and they had it for months. I barely even had this car. Okay. So then I had a friend of a friend kind of tie up the loose ends on the electrical for me. And I knew it was really messed up. So I knew that he was going to have it for a long time. So I kind of gave him.
I was going to say, you've been complaining about not having the Camaro for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. So I kind of, I gave him some money here, some money there to kind of pay him labor as we went along. And then, and he had it for a while, but, we expected that because it was really messed up. The other people messed it up. So finally he just stops answering his texts. Yeah. And then he moved like not too long before that. So we were trying to check in, get a status and stuff. And we were trying to get a status, and he wasn't available. So I sent somebody over to his place to just check it out, maybe scare him a little bit. Yeah. And I don't know if we should edit that out. But
you sent someone to investigate just to see what's going on.
Yeah. Just
put some eyes on the situation.
Nice, friendly,
very friendly,
Mr. Rogers kind of handshake.
Absolutely, I would expect nothing less from you.
So he wasn't there. So then finally, I'm like, well, shit. I guess.
Like, wait, he wasn't there. Like
the guy,
his belongings weren't there.
Yeah, everything was moved. So,
wow. Okay.
So the guy that I sent went and he talked to the neighbor, and then they said that not too long ago he had moved and everything, and the car wasn't there. Okay. So I had to pay like $3,000 to a private eye, just like as a retainer, like you would with a lawyer.
Right.
I don't know how long it's going to take them to track him down, but I had a lot of like info on the guy and stuff.
So as of right now, you have no idea as to the location.
I have no idea where this car is. It's mine. I barely had it. I've had it for about 2 years, and I've barely been able to drive it.
How many times have you driven it?
I don't know. Probably. I don't know. There was a period of time where I had it for a while. It was like my daily. But aside from that stretch where I wasn't doing any work to it, like maybe 5 or 6 times aside from that, like while it's been in the shop, So and that's just one of my cars. So I've got a whole saga.
I was gonna say this is very first world problem-y, but I understand because it's your car. You deserve to have your car. You deserve to know where your stuff is.
Yeah. It's like, it's not a free car for you.
Right.
What?
Absolutely. No, when you said something was missing with your car, I thought you were talking about the vet. It wasn't. I didn't.
No, so I've got that in storage because the neighborhood won't let me park it on the street. And, I can't get in the driveway because of the slope. Yeah, it is. It is. It really is.
No, I had issues with my HOA when I first moved into my neighborhood too. So I totally get it. Like, I like what the HOA does, but there was some headbutting when I first moved in. That was 15 years ago though, so I'm good now. Yeah.
You've got everything ironed out. I knew when I moved into this house with the slope in the driveway, I was going to have issues. Mm-hmm. And I did, because I parked on the street for a while. The neighborhood writes me a letter. Try to park it in the top of the driveway before the slope. That's actually
insane. You can't park in front of your house.
You can't park it in the street. Yeah. So I've got letters,
Like, what about when people have like guests?
Well, they can, but they watch so closely they know when you're breaking the rule.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So like if it's just a guest for a day, you're not going to get a letter, but they see the car out there. So
do these people have jobs outside of this?
Yeah. It's like Karen is she's the manager of Karening. So
like, that's crazy.
And this is a golf cart neighborhood. So they ride around in the golf cart, they just watch. But so anyway, I can fit my car in the top of the driveway before the slope happens.
But it
But
blocks.
because it blocks the sidewalk, then the cops get called. So I had no other choice to put this car in storage.
Yeah.
But because I moved from a non-emissions county recently to an emissions county,
Oh,
I couldn't put it in storage because my tag wasn't up to date. Couldn't get my tag because I just had an alternator repair. So I had to drive this car illegally for hundreds of miles to complete a drive cycle, risking getting a ticket in order to be able to get my tag, just to satisfy the police and the neighbors and to get into storage. So
now you're down to just one car.
5 cars. My daughter has one.
Okay.
I've got one. And then all 3 of my fun ones have problems right now.
Okay.
One of them's in storage, and then another one's in the shop, and then one of them's stolen. So
Okay.
yeah.
Stolen. We're gonna hope it's not.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
I mean, sometimes people just fall off the face of the earth because they're just going through problems and they stop responding to everybody.
Or maybe he was going no contact with you.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, you have some history with.
That's a good
going no
segue.
contact?
I wasn't ready for that segue.
You like that, didn't you?
You were
like
ahead
that.
of it. Yeah.
I was loading it up for a minute, waiting for the perfect moment.
You did it. You did it.
Thank you.
So I'm curious because your angle on it, right? Because in your world of coaching, you don't necessarily, not necessarily like putting people back together with their exes, but they still have to go cold turkey,
For sure.
right? If somebody isn't like good for them or whatever.
sure.
So we're both dealing with people that are in this state of silence.
Yeah. I would hate for my client to be at against your client.
Oh, I know.
That would be terrible because my no
It'd
contact
be worse
is
for my client probably.
You think so?
Yeah, because you're probably telling them, hey, you don't need that guy. Blah, blah, blah.
I did not do this now. No,
You're strong.
I fully believe in when people show you who they are, listen the first time.
Yeah.
Now,
Right.
do people have the capacity for redemption? Absolutely. How often does that actually happen? And actually,
Yeah.
it's more likely to happen probably if they are your client because you're making them do the work to do the redemption, which we've discussed before. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but if they're not, especially if you're dealing with like a narcissist, for example, they're not going to do the work. They're going to present themselves as having done the work for a little. They might even actually go to therapy just to learn the words.
Yeah.
Just to say, I can't even think of any of the words right now, but they'll have those very technical terms to make it like seem like they're doing the work.
Yeah.
But my version of no contact, like that's the start of your new life. Like that chapter is closed.
Mm-hmm.
What hurt you won't heal you. So we're not going back to that. And that's what my version of no contact is. It's moving into the next phase.
I think it's the same too for somebody. It's funny because most people that come to me, they realize, I don't know how much of this is just them doing what they know they have to do, but they say, hey, look, that was the old relationship. We can't have that again. It's got to be something new. So they kind of accept this, like no contact is like a rebirth thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because the way everybody else teaches it holistically is that this is a chance for you to grow. And I agree with that 100%, right?
For sure.
Yeah. Like if you don't think that, then that's weird. Like, of course you should better yourself.
For sure.
And even if your goal is to get your ex back, you're going to have a way hell of a harder time doing it if you're the same person. Yeah,
sure.
Right. They can sniff you out. But what's funny is I tell people, it's like a lot of times the ex that you're going after isn't growing, and so you have to get them back under the impression that you're getting the same unhealed version back, but you can leverage attraction to get them to go into therapy, and they knowingly go into this risk, right?
Right.
Because a lot of them, like their whole reason they're getting broken up with is because the person doesn't want to face the issues.
For sure.
But I tell them, hey, you should grow, you should change, but that ain't going to do a single fucking thing to get that person back other than if they can sense like a different energy out. That will help. But the principles
and
of
that energy takes time too. Like you have to establish a new pattern of behavior. And if the person you're trying to get back isn't mentally ready for that, then they might sabotage the process too. So I think the no contact is good on both ends.
Yeah, it is. It is. I just think I stress this to people because I get people that want to get their ex back that think that by them becoming a better person, that's going to do the trick. And it doesn't, because how many guys, there's this meme out there that's like, it's like this little like this guy's holding up this index card with his frowny face, and it's like times I respected you. And it's like punch, 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 and he's like, like he's waiting to like hook up. It's like, it's like
If you can find it, send it to the editor so
Yeah,
we can throw it on screen.
yeah, we will.
Yeah.
So it's this putting the cart before the horse, like as if being a good person alone is enough to like gain somebody's interest. Even if you have a history with somebody and you know that you fit their archetype of person that they like, right? You know that you fit their blueprints. You've already had a relationship, you've had sex, you know that you fit their bill. Just because you have a history and you have that, it doesn't mean that you can just, get back together. You still got to make them laugh, make them smile, have fun. Right. So I try to like
the charisma,
stipulate.
yeah.
Yeah. So, so I say that because no contact has to be this thing where you're growing, but you also have to understand the principles of attraction, and you can't loosen up off that just because you know the person already,
Yeah. And there's plenty of pop culture references of how no contact has worked and then doesn't work. Like when you think about Nelly and Ashanti, for example, I don't know them personally, so I don't know how no contact they were, but they spent some time apart. They grew. They came back together. They recently got married and had a baby. So it seemed like no contact worked in their favor because they were probably growing and doing their own thing separately. Whereas you think of like a Ben and Jennifer, it would seem that they came back as the same people and didn't change the things that led to the downfall of their relationship the first time. And so it led to the downfall a little faster this time.
So they broke up, got back together, and broke up again.
Yeah, like 6 months ago, they
I
broke
got to
up
brush
again.
up on my pop culture.
Yeah. I'll send you all the things.
Okay, yeah.
But they, in the past, like 12 months, got back together. It was a whole big thing. They were getting married, and they're already not together again. So
okay, yeah. Something in me when I was going through my separation with my ex, and we had gone back and forth, like who wanted it at different times, and there was something in me that just felt like if I got back together with her, we would just fight again and just break up again. And it prevented me from like opening up and being warm to the situation, even though I love the shit out of her.
Had you done any no contact though, or were you still in contact that whole time?
No, we had done some.
Structured the way you would have your clients do it though, or was it like an unintentional?
Yeah, because I wasn't reaching out first. Yeah. So yeah, the way I teach it is like no contact really just means don't initiate. So no contact is not like this forced period where you don't talk. The way I teach no contact is like you can't initiate bids for their attention for X amount of time. If they come to you, you chat them up, you riz them up, whatever, and then because if you forcefully close the door, then you're communicating disinterest. You could make a statement theoretically, I guess. Probably other people teach it where you could say, "Hey, look, I'm not going to talk to you for X amount of time." But
I don't think that works. That just tells the person, okay, I can do what I want. And then a week before that amount of time, let me start getting myself back together so I can re-enter. Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
And it's like you only need to do that if you don't understand how to teach attraction, right? So coming from the objective of putting people back together, you only need to force not talking to each other if like, hey, this person's too dumb or too weak to basically, give to the other person and make them happy. They can't bite their tongue every time they get pissed off. So let's force them away for months.
Right.
It's like, that's condescending to me. It's like, no, we'll teach you what you need to do to pull the person back in. So that way, when they contact you, you can be happy and stuff.
Yeah.
But still grow in the meantime. That's the way I look at it. So,
yeah.
But there's plenty. So, to segue, there's plenty of people out there that aren't going to get to talk to their ex.
My clients.
Yeah.
Their exes aren't going to get to talk to them.
And plenty of mine too, that like they dug themselves a really big hole and they're not going to talk.
How do you feel about the block button?
I don't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, okay, it's my favorite button on the phone.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? Because if you're trying to protect people from
for sure
narcissistic,
it depends on, that's why from them, absolutely, because they're not going to respect boundaries.
Yeah,
and they're not going to respect. Hey, I need some time to myself. They'll respect it for like 24 hours, and then there's a sob story, or I've seen them faking themselves getting hurt,
Yeah.
or faking self-harm, or
Yeah.
threatening self-harm, any one of those things. Or you're the only thing that kept me from doing crazy things. If I go to jail, it'll be your fault.
Yeah.
And with the women that I'm working with, it's not healthy for them to hear those kinds of things while they're also putting themselves back together.
No, because you got the guilt and then it weighs you down and all the stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then if they do something crazy, then it's like,
Yeah.
So I love that button. But if it's not like an abusive situation that they're leaving, not necessarily block, but there's this feature on Instagram where you can mute people so they don't pop up in your feed.
Yep, exactly.
So it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. And this is, again, only for people that can respect your boundaries, that aren't going to hound you or make threats. But that mute button is perfect because after a few weeks, you're just not seeing their content. You're not thinking about them. You're pouring into yourself. I have my girls master nervous system rehabilitation. We take on new hobbies, things to fill the time they're growing their mind while they're also working on themselves. So I really, really like that mute button.
Yeah, I think you got to be open to it, right? Because if somebody just won't stay away when you've asked them to, what else are you going to do? I'm dealing with people that want to block to be like, oh, you don't want to be with me? Okay, fine. Well, screw you. And then they want to like be reactive. So it communicates being butthurt, right?
Yeah. I think it's called protest behavior.
Yeah. So like, I'm never going to let somebody do that, because if they want that person back, you can't block them for a variety of reasons, because it's one less place that they can contact you at. You want them to come talk to you again, because we want to.
They can contact you on Cash App. Or PayPal. Those are my faves.
Yeah, you deal with women clientele. Yep.
My favorite way for my privacy to be disrupted. Contact me on Cash App.
I've heard plenty of stories where the money goes out and then they send the message. But it's one less place that they can contact you at. It's reactivity, right? Which is, for my people, they're trying to get the power dynamic back. So you can't be reactive if you're trying to communicate that you're at the top when you got dumped to begin with, right? That's the flip that I have to teach, is like, oh, you got dumped. Okay, well, now we have to be in charge. So you don't get mad at them and like block them and lash out and all this stuff. No,
that's giving it too much attention.
Yeah.
Sure.
All you can do is you can't lose so much interest that you won't talk to them at all because you want them back. And so you have to give them a prospect of, a reward if the other person's going to put in the work. But you have to like lose that degree of interest where it's just like one notch below what you would otherwise want to do.
How do you feel about, this is probably toxic, not necessarily a thirst trap, like posting a thirst trap post breakup to get their attention, but like,
I love it.
Really?
Yeah, I love it. Or like
posting yourself looking really good. I've been guilty of that in the past.
No, you got to do shit like that. But the problem is that you can't.
Toxic, Benny.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to do it. It's good. It helps you, right? Because like a lot of you aren't even gonna get your ex back per se, and you should just do it for you, right? I'm telling everybody, go get a photo shoot done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, you did. We did talk about that.
Yeah,
for sure.
But here's the thing: you can't do this if you have a dismissive avoidant partner. You can, but it's really risky, because a lot of times people that are in lower self-esteem, they're going to see what you're doing. They already think that you're better than them on some level. They have this perceived thing about status difference. And half the time they broke up with you to begin with is because they're overwhelmed. They don't think they can give you what you need, blah, blah, blah. And so that you start flexing on them,
it's going to make it even
they're going to shut down. Yeah, they're going to go away. So a lot of people want to. So when I was a dating coach specifically, I would teach, live your best life, post it up, right? Show them what they're missing out on. But that only works for some people. You got to know that your ex's attachment style.
And do you think there's like a certain mindset you have to be in when you're showing them what they're missing? Because I think there's also, it can be insecure on the poster side. Like, I'm not good enough. Let me show him.
Where's your water cup? We can't like post like my water bottle next to your water cup on the table and be like, hey, look, it's two people hanging out. Like, it's like,
I've
I know, but see, people do that and it's curious, but it's also one of those things you think to do. So to me, you got to make it real. You got to be out there. You got to be talking to other people. You got to be living your best life for real. And then the whole 2 cups on the table thing has context, right?
Right.
But if that's the only thing they're doing, and
right.
Yeah. So it's like you got to be careful what you do. I feel like because it
has to come from a place of authenticity, is what you're saying. Like it can't just be you're out with your friends and you're like, girl, get out of the way so I can take a picture of our plates and make it seem like I'm on a date.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that I've ever done that before.
I've done it too. I've done it too, for sure.
But like
I've even done more lame than that. I had this date set up with this girl.
Himself.
Yeah. This was, I don't know. This was maybe 10 years. I don't know. I can't remember. But it was a while ago, and I had this date set up with this girl. She hyped it up, everything, and I was really excited because she was super hot. And then she flaked on me. Well, I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to go out anyway because I don't want to feel like a schmuck. So I did that, but I pulled this place that I went to instead. The waitresses are plainclothes there. So I like pulled some hot ass waitress off to the side. I'm like, hey, take a picture of me. It was just like, you could probably see straight through it, but yeah. And I posted my story or whatever,
But see, on the flip side, as a woman, for some reason, that always works. Like if an ex has an inkling, like you guys could be no contact, blocked, have cussed each other out, said the worst possible things about each other. If they have a hint that you may or may not be hanging out with a man, it's like they have like some sonar or radar or something. Like they know you're enjoying yourself. And they pop back up, which I don't think is coming from a healthy place either. I don't think it's authentic when they do that.
Yeah.
But that's like the most aggressive comeback ever when they think you're
It is
in the company of another man. Why is that?
See, you know this because you're a female pickup artist, as we discussed.
I'm a female. I know how to get me and all my friends drinks and food for free.
Yep. Hey. So yeah, I think you're absolutely right. But people can tell the difference, like when it's real, right? They can just feel because you're a little bit less easy to get a hold of. Maybe you don't answer your phone till the morning, depending on how the night goes, whatever. And they can feel these things. And I would universally teach that, if not for blowback that comes from it. So I'm okay with blowback, right? I'm okay with the ex being like, oh, you were out with some other girl last night, blah, blah, blah. And you let them get mad. You let them go off. You don't chase them and be like, no, it's only you. Don't worry, right? And you let them get mad because then once you didn't chase them, they realize, oh, you're still over here with the other person.
Rubber band effect.
Right? Yeah.
Snaps them back.
So it absolutely works. But the problem is that with dismissive avoidance, again, they'll just concede the battle a lot of times. So it's not a universal thing to teach doing that. A lot of people won't do it because they don't want to. A lot of people have reservations about dating too early when they're still stuck on the ex, and I totally get it. Like they don't want to lead somebody else on. They can't, like they're in this place where they can't even think about looking at somebody else, and they need to get to that place where they can, But I don't jump straight to it, even though I totally agree. It's like super effective for sure. Yeah, it's one of those things.
I think it's like it's very similar to mate pre-selection theory. Are you familiar with that? I think it's similar to that, and that's why it works.
I mean, like if we go out to the club together and you're there with me, I'm gonna have an easier time meeting somebody else.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly either that or men that wear rings. If you have a ring on, they'll be like, oh, he must be a good stable guy because he has a wife. I want him. But same thing. I've actually had a male friend tell me that. He was like, you got to come be my wing woman. Every time you're with me, I get access to different women. And I was like, you're not gonna use me.
But you don't want to do me a solid.
Because it doesn't, on the flip side, it doesn't work for me that way. I don't get access to more men because they're going to have respect for, like, if I was out with you, the men would have respect for you and not come at me. Whereas women might find you more attractive because you have a woman with you. Therefore, it signals that you're more stable.
Totally. So in pickup artistry, they have to teach it. So they run boot camps, right? So there'll be guys that go out to a city. They'll have like a room full of students in a hotel room, and they'll teach a bunch of principles. And then later that night, they'll take them out to the clubs, and they'll kind of like, okay, go do this. And
put it in action.
Right. And one of the things that they teach is, hey, look, if you see a girl with other guys, you go talk to her still.
Really?
Yeah.
Like in Hitch.
Do they do that in Hitch?
Yeah, in Hitch. He went up to a girl. She was surrounded by guys, and he acted like he was ordering a drink from her. And he was like, "Hey, I want blah blah blah," and handed her some money. And she was like, "What the fuck?" And went to cuss him out, like, "Bitch, I don't work here." And he was like, "I know. I just was trying to get you away from those guys."
That's funny. Well, there's this thing that men have in their head where it's like, oh, like it could totally be the brother or the friend, or it's the guy she just met. But everybody assumes it's the boyfriend. And so you leave all these girls alone because you don't want to mess with it, you know?
Like that even happens to me if I'm somewhere with my little brother. People have assumed, and I'm like, ew. But my little brother is, we're 8 years apart, but he's much taller than me, 6'6". And people have, oh, is this your man? You guys are cute. And they'll assume that he's the man I'm with and therefore not speak to me, which is crazy.
Yeah, so it's a lose for you for sure, right?
lose.
Yeah, you can't do nothing.
Well, no, actually.
Unless you're into girls, that's different.
Actually, no. When I have done that, you still have to buy my drinks if I'm out with you. So it's not lose-lose. I would never put myself in that position. Yeah.
There was another point I was going to make. Yeah, so it's hard. So as a man, if you're going to like really develop thick skin and get out there and learn how to approach and learn how to be charismatic in every situation, you've got to get over that thing where you're scared of like who might be in the group. And I've had funny situations where I've had guys like, so guys do all these different things. They'll try to like make you feel guilty for talking to the girl. They'll be like, "Hey, bro, she's uncomfortable, bro. Like, get away." And she, like, I'll have this girl like looking at me with puppy dog eyes, like totally locked in, like can't even hear the other guy, right? Just like zoned in, like 10 out of 10 interest. And the guy will be like, "Bro, like you can't talk," And I've had a guy like physically try to pull me away, like it was me, my buddy, and this girl. We're all talking in a triangle. And these two guys were initially talking to her first, but he kind of like peeled her off, and she was talking to us. And this guy physically was pulling me away. This guy,
he was touching you?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I'm like I'm 5'7". This guy's like 6 something. Like these are like Chad looking motherfuckers, basically, right? And girl was beautiful, whatever. They thought that they were entitled to her, whatever.
Yeah.
But the guy that I was with is like, he's like go out every night kind of guy. So he knew how to do his thing. And, but anyway, we get to talking with her, and, the guys like, they got upset and they start getting reactive. It's like, oh, there's no way these two midget motherfuckers are going to come up here and like steal this girl. Right. And, and they were way better looking and way more in shape and all this stuff. And
that doesn't always hold all the cards though. If you're a terrible person or you have no conversation skills, no social skills, can't read the room, that doesn't, it can get you in the door. Like it'll get you a start of the conversation. But if your energy is icky, I don't care what you look like.
Yeah. But to their ego, they thought they were entitled to it. They couldn't believe what was happening in front of them, right? So that one guy, he physically pulled. So I just anchor my weight, and I'm just like, right?
So lock in.
Yeah.
Lock in on the prize.
Yeah, and I was lucky that I knew, like if a girl won't acknowledge the other guy, you don't have to either. So he didn't exist. He was like physically trying to pull me out. He didn't exist. So he just got factored out, you know. But
how embarrassing for him.
I know. But see, what I realized after that is if I didn't know that, if I had turned and addressed him and gave him power, he would have had an in.
Right.
She would have had to probably
because you would have
him.
shifted your energy. Your energy and hers were locked in. As soon as you give it up your energy, then that gives her the option to, because she was probably in a trance.
Yep.
As soon as you break the trance, that gives somebody else the opportunity to lock in.
Yeah. So it's interesting, these social dynamics, like how they play out in reality. Like when you understand them, your experience of interacting with, like it could be night or day. I don't know how this is relevant to what we were just talking about.
Well, I was going to ask you from your male perspective, what are your thoughts on when women speak first? Not necessarily make the first move, but like start the conversation first.
I think you got to love it. It's just doing our work for us, No,
I'm saying from your perspective, would that, because I've heard some people say, oh, I would never take her serious. And I've heard some people say, I would love for that to happen first. I never know how to start a conversation. But once I'm in it, I'm in it. I'm really good at breaking the ice and starting things first. That's how I used to get a lot
I don't
of free
see
stuff.
how as a guy you could not like it unless you just weren't into the girl, right? The same way that you guys have to deal with guys that you don't like coming up to you, talking to you all the time or whatever. I don't see how that could be bad,
Yeah.
you know? And we're probably a lot less apologetic about just cutting it off if we didn't like it. All right, well, look, got to get out of here.
Oh my
Not
God,
worried
I
about
would
y'all raping us or
die.
whatever.
I would die if somebody did that to me. I would literally shrink and die. I don't know what I would do if that happened.
Right. You put yourself out there and then they don't take it.
Yeah.
I've had cold approaches go wrong. Now, I'm not a cold approach kind of guy. When I was kind of like cutting my teeth, it was all like online approach and doing one-on-one dates. That's where I spent most of my time.
No, I mean like at a bar.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But in the times where I have done that, I've had like colossal failures. Like, walk up to a girl, like was feeling myself, walk up to her, just kind of in the moment, just say, hey, get her attention. She's smiling. And then just totally go fucking blank. The pressure's on you to keep talking. Couldn't think of anything. She just looks at me like, okay, like walks off, You learn a lot doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I bet it builds your character up a lot though. Like nothing can get to you now.
Yeah. And you know how to like it's less scary when you know how to make it not go bad. Or if it does go bad, you know how to clap back or just kind of be silly and but yeah. I love doing the coaching thing, especially with when we're trying to put relationships back together, because like people are talking and they screenshot me what the ex says, and then I can think of something funny to say back. So it's funny because I get to live like vicariously through the person, right? And
oh my God, you are like Hitch.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is. Yeah,
like Hitch.
Yeah, it's fun like that.
So when you're teaching your clients about, not necessarily teaching, but guiding them through no contact, and you said your version of no contact is not making the first approach, at what point are they allowed to make the first approach?
Yeah, so basically what we have to do is they have to tell me their story. I'm going to listen to everything, and I'm going to figure out what their ex's attachment style is. Because if you can figure out their attachment style, you can figure out how long that person's going to stay closed off. So you don't initiate up to a certain point, which for dismissive avoidance is going to be, depending on how long they were together, it's going to be 3 months plus some extra time. If it's a fearful avoidance, probably going to be 3 months, probably not plus extra time. And if they're anxious, they're not really even going to break up with you because they're too, unless they shifted somehow into a fearful avoidant. And if they're secure, I mean, like it just depends on the story, but usually it's going to be about 3 months, maybe plus some extra time, because dismissive avoidants suppress their emotions. So, so they're not even going to feel it properly until maybe 2 or 3 months in,
right? Until they unravel their own feelings.
Yeah. So we're telling them to wait, maybe 3 to 6 months or something, unless they've already done time, or just depending on the story, if something was weird, And
then what's the tactic when they reach back out?
Everybody overthinks that. They're like, oh, what do I do? It's like, you just say, hey, it's been a long time. How'd your summer go? If somebody was to message right now, be super simple. Because you're not gonna like come in with an apology. You're not gonna come in with like sentiment, like, oh, do you remember the one time that?
See, that's what they always do. Have you seen that Future meme where he was like, I have to find a couple of them and send them to you, but it's like, I heard our favorite song and it reminded me of whatever, and it's a guy basically trying to get his ex back, using that same sentimental approach. I'll find some and send them to you. They're really funny. Like it'll be like, hey, I just heard We Belong Together on the radio, and it reminded me of how we belong together, but I messed it up. It's something like that. But that's how it always is. It's never a, hey, how are you? How are things?
Right.
It's a,
they're not meeting you where you're at.
You're the one that got away. I haven't slept a day since I saw it. Like, it's always
it's like, what do you say to that? You're like, I slept. I there was a lot of days like because, well, the way I think about it is you're in your head feeling what you feel. So you're going to what? Just say what you feel to the other person?
Yeah.
That's not good pickup artistry. That like you got to care about having an emotional effect on them.
Right.
We think that getting poetic or sentimental is going to have the effect on that person. Well, it's not, because you got to be in a certain mood for that, right?
For sure.
Right? Like if you go watch a drama movie, it doesn't like open up with like, a scene of like a baby dying or something, right? Like, I don't know, like you watch like a rom-com, it's like the chick gets cancer halfway through the movie.
Right.
Okay. It's not like,
Right.
so to me, you want to do the same thing you do out in public,
Build up.
Yeah.
And see, with my clients, the way I've handled breakups, by the time this happens, because it always does happen, guys always come back. I don't know why that is. It just always, they will always want that old thing back. By the time they do, my client has changed so much that if they have not worked on themselves, they're not even congruent anymore. Like they probably started off here when they broke up, but we're working on elevation. We're working on confidence. We're working on elevating your career, nervous system regulation, your friend group, your wardrobe, all these things. Like we've leveled up your whole life. And if you've been sitting at home lamenting the past 3 months and not actually working on yourself, then, you might get her for a dinner, but even that dinner is going to be so telling.
Yeah.
It's going to show everything that you haven't worked on while she has been working on herself. And that's what I've found even in my situations with exes that have tried to get back with me. Like, I'm not even the same person you broke up with. I don't even know that girl anymore.
Yeah.
That girl doesn't exist. Like, I love that you loved her. I don't know who she is anymore.
Do you feel like, I feel like the universe keeps you apart? Like somebody that's like got victim mentality, that's like complaining about their shitty boss and like how life hates them and all this stuff. Like, I don't even know where those people are at.
Because you're not a magnetic match for them. You're not on the same vibration as them. When you're in that self-pity, you attract self-pity people around you, and then it's normalized because now we're all complaining about life and we all hate our boss. Yeah. But once you take yourself out of that mindset and elevate it, then you start attracting people who are in a more elevated mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree. Because you're just not in that mindset to be complaining and naggy and woe is me. That's not you.
Yeah. So it's like I physically don't come into contact with these people.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Do. This is the thing. You do. Your energy just repels them.
Right.
They're there. Yeah. They're all around.
Totally.
But your energy just repels them. And by chance, if you were to happen to have a conversation with them, you would know immediately within a few sentences, oh, this person's not it.
And it doesn't even get that far. You probably don't even talk to them.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even get into these conversations where I get like super turned off by, well, maybe except for on a dating app, but like in real life, like I don't like, and it's weird because growing up, not the case, right? There's like bad people around everywhere almost, So I know that factors into, what you're talking about with relationships. But it's funny because, we're in the same physical reality, but it's almost like we live in two different universes.
For sure.
You can't even get that. And like in all the growth that somebody goes through over months and then somebody, or even years, if they're coming, like dudes coming back from the past, I can't imagine how much more that would be the case,
It's like have you read the book? I know you like to read like me, Outwitting the Devil. There's this concept. It's like kind of religious, kind of not, but it's basically how people stay stuck in negative patterns. And that's like what the enemy would want for you, to stay in a negative pattern. But if you can get out of that negative pattern and get into a more positive pattern, then you don't attract those. But it takes sometimes it takes like a huge life event, like a car crash or a breakup or something big to get you out of that mindset. Yeah. But once you're out of it and you can start manifesting your own positivity, then you end up in a rotation of positivity, and I can create whatever life I want. I can, and then, so if for an ex to come back and they're still who they used to be, and you're like up here now, it's like,
I can't
it's
see
never
you.
Gonna work. I love that we got to catch up. I hope you got the closure you needed.
I love you like a brother.
Literally.
We're going to be best friends.
No, because you're still woe is me, and I can't have that in my life. Yeah. No besties. I wish you the best.
That would send them away equally, though.
I think that's like one of the most liberating experiences, because sometimes, often in these bad relationships that, people end up with me after their bad relationship. Damn, I lost my train of thought. Oh, that was what I was going to say. When they do get out of that mindset and they become this newer version of themselves, like that's the most liberating part. So when they come back in contact with people who knew who they were versus who they are, it's like almost like an uncomfortable blast from the past. Like, damn, like who was that girl? Like I've had that happen to me and I cried because I was like, I don't even know that person anymore. Like, and I'm sad that I even allowed myself to be in those situations to be treated that way.
Yeah. So it's that higher level awareness now that you can.
Yeah. Like, think back to who you were when you were like 20.
I don't want to do that.
Who is that person, right?
Yeah.
That guy doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, totally not.
And when you were that person, everything you were doing back then made sense, right? But looking back on it, you're like, what the fuck was I doing? Why would I have done that? And I'm not harping on anybody that you were with back then. I'm not talking bad about anybody. But I'm sure there's some choices that you look back on like,
yeah, totally.
What was I doing?
Yeah, for sure. So, okay, so no contact, whether they're doing it to get away from somebody or to come close to somebody, they're going to go through this big stint of silence, but potentially.
Yeah.
And people have to cope with that, right? Mm-hmm. Because you don't break down and go back to the narcissist.
Right.
You don't break down and chase somebody that you just chased.
Yeah.
So people need tools to be able to pull this off. And for me, I think the number one thing that fucks people up is getting in their own head. Mm-hmm. That's where all the suffering comes from to me. Because if you get in your head, you start thinking about your memories. Now you're crying. Now you're depressed.
Yeah. Or
you start thinking about, oh, she's with some other guy, or like, am I going to have another chance in the future? Blah, blah, blah. And now you're anxious because you're in the future. Mm-hmm. And it's like trying to solve a math problem where they didn't even give you all the variables yet.
Right.
You're like that's so dumb.
And it's in your head, so you can't get away from it. It's always with you.
Yeah, right. Our thoughts are seamless with our body, so you can't even tell when you're thinking all the time. Mm-hmm. So you get like 10 levels deep into thought, and now it's too late. Now you're having a panic attack or something like that. So, so people really suffer from this stuff, and it's funny. Like, I'll give people shit. I'll be on calls with people, and I'll have like a lot of Indian clients. I'm like, hey, like, you already have the solution. Oh, your ancestors created this shit. I'm like, hey, you should know this, right? You don't need a Western guy telling you about meditation.
Right.
It's funny. People love that. But like, it's true. It's like even people from the East don't like, this is such a rare thing because it's so fucking boring to meditate. Right.
Until you get into it, then it's not. I love meditation.
Yeah. I do like an active meditation that's like practical, like as I go about my day, but I don't do the formal meditation. I need to get back into it.
I make my clients like custom guided meditations.
Yeah.
For specifically what they're working on.
That's cool.
And they're between like 10 and 15 minutes. But because like you said, when you go through that breakup and you're in the no contact, whether it's to get back together or not, it's that period of like silence. I liken it to like being in a cocoon.
Yeah.
And you're
you
in
get
there.
Your butterfly wings.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. You're in there, but it's dark and it's quiet and it's very transformative. And I've always thought, like, I wonder if the caterpillar knows why it's in there. Like, like, does it know what it's going to come out and be on the other side? But once they like,
it's not like being a baby. You've had some caterpillar time out in the world, right? Like,
right. You've been out in the world and then you have to go back into the darkness. That's what it's like. And you have to feel your feels. I'm not big on holding back your emotions. Like, if you have to cry it out, if you need to go to a rage room, if you need to hop on a call and just talk shit and get it out, all that. But once you felt the feels, meditation for sure. Definitely guided meditation in there.
Yeah, because if you get in your head, you're either going to be depressed, you're going to be anxious. That's when you're going to reach out to your ex, right?
And ruin everything.
Yeah, you're going to ruin it if you want them back, or you're going to ruin your life because you're getting somebody back that you shouldn't have. Mm-hmm. But in order to make this work, you've got to be aware of when you think, right?
Okay.
Because you can't opt out of the thought and going down the rabbit hole with it if you're not aware.
For sure.
So to me, you need a couple of different skills. You gotta have nervous system regulation. You gotta know how to do box breathing, right? Yeah, because you get too far into thought, like you didn't catch it in time. Okay, now nothing's going to help you except for the breathwork stuff. But the interesting thing that I learned from my therapist, and I totally agree with this, is that you can't just bust it out. Like you learn like they teach you the skill. You're not just going to bust it out when you're having a panic attack. You got to practice it when shit's calm.
Right.
And then you do it, right?
Right. It has to become regular to you so that when shit's hitting the fan, then you can bring it. You can't just bring it out when shit hits the fan.
Right. Because you have the muscle memory or whatever. For sure. You got that, right? So that's your kind of, break the glass tool. And then before that, to not even ever have to get to that point, you got to have the awareness to know when you're thinking and be like, oh, hey, look what I'm doing here, and just shut it out and be back to the present moment.
That's what healing really is, in my opinion. It's not that you just make all new choices. It's that you can receive the same information and pause and assess it and then make a different choice.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. Just like you said, like you pause and sit with it instead of reacting.
Yeah, right. So it's like you're interact. So I love the implications of this for dating. Mm-hmm. Okay. Ex or not. Because in real time, when you're talking to somebody, you've got the fork in the road. It's almost like you have VR glasses on and they're like, oh, if you click button A, this is going to happen. Right. And so when you're talking to somebody, you have that premonition of like, oh, I definitely shouldn't say this, it's
like, yeah. Okay.
So you can control the outcome because you can see the fork in the road like in real time as reality is unfolding.
It's like a choose your own adventure novel.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And that's why awareness is so huge. And I don't think people understand the implications that it has on your dating life, like socially or even sales or any of this kind of stuff,
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people, because like I said, a lot of us are in cycles. We don't realize that we're just reacting to stimuli instead of like pausing and then making an active decision in that moment with the information presented to you.
Right. Yeah. It's so true. But so you can build awareness. Like you can sit down, close your eyes. And the one that I do is like, anytime you notice a thought comes into your head, you have to start the count. Right. So you're like one, until finally you can count higher. And it's so fucking boring.
Yeah.
But you can create this awareness of how you are separate from your thoughts. And now all of a sudden, just like the world opens up to you.
Right.
I love that. So to me, like when you think about coping and no contact, like that's the biggest thing. It's like, get out of your fucking head.
Yeah.
Because if you could just do that, your experience, like you almost don't even need your ex anymore in a sense. Like,
because you've leveled up. You've leveled up. When you can control your actions instead of reacting, you're a whole new person.
Yeah.
That's what happens in the cocoon shell. That's one of the things we work on. So that when you come back out as a butterfly, you're actively contributing to your life instead of just reacting to the stimuli over and over again.
Yeah, totally. Trying to think like what else. So everybody knows everything you should be doing in no contact. Like I think people get that they should be in the gym. Should be in the gym. They should be making money, et cetera, et cetera.
Get a new hobby.
Yeah.
Be in therapy, maybe if you need therapy or coaching, one of those
right.
two.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to have somebody that's outside of you that has your best interests, but is also going to give you the real.
Yeah. And when it comes to hobbies, I feel like they need to do things that have an edge, or especially men at least, like do shit that has an edge to it.
Like what?
Like don't go join Warhammer 40K club or something, okay? Like
I don't even know what that is.
It's like it's a little hobby where people paint little figurines.
This is a real thing.
It's a real thing. It's like
I thought you just made that up.
No, it's real.
It's
kind of like Magic the Gathering, but it's not a card game. It's like a little figurine thing, and they paint and collect these like little expensive like figurines, basically. So now
it sounds like the little figurines they use in what is that, Hellfire Clubs?
Oh, I don't know what I don't know what Hellfire Club is, but I know that it exists because I follow this guy on TikTok that has a hat that says that. What is it?
Have you seen Stranger Things?
Yeah.
The game they play together, like their campaigns that they run that last like 2 months.
Yeah, so the things that they move around on the board, I think that's like what Warhammer is.
Okay.
So don't go join.
So don't do that.
I mean, you could, because the other thing I was going to say is like have something that has a social aspect to it, because you want to have you want to have social proof, right?
Okay.
So it helps to have something that has a social aspect to it, but like do something that has an edge to it too. Like don't.
Like give me some examples.
Like jiu-jitsu, combat sports, CrossFit, which is like fitness plus social aspect.
I've heard CrossFit can get like culty almost.
Yeah, it can. Yeah. It can, right? Yeah, you got to be careful. But you can get hurt and stuff. But like a motorcycle club or something like that, like something that, I don't know, at least for men, like do something that has an edge. But I feel like there's these things for women too, like Pure Barre.
I was going to say bar, right? Pilates.
Yeah.
Hot yoga, hot Pilates.
Pole dancing. That shit ain't easy.
I've heard it's a
Like,
really, I haven't done it yet, but I've heard it's a really good full body workout, and it
Yeah.
gives you that social as well. All those things give you that social aspect.
yeah, you got the confidence aspect to it, so you don't have to. You can use it for fitness, but if you want, you can dance for your dude too, and then you know that you're sexy. So there's all these things that, like, both for men and for women, it's like you can join the Warhammer 40K club,
Yeah.
or you can go learn how to fight.
Yeah. I'm a fan of mind, body, soul. So having a hobby that fits all three.
Okay.
So mind, like even if it's something simple like reading,
Yeah.
body, something fitness related, to keep your body together, to keep your cortisol low. And then soul, that's like something you're passionate about, even if you're not good at it, just something you're passionate about to.
Let's
Keep
see,
your soul happy.
like an example.
But these are things that I suggest for women. So like for example, mine are, I love to read. That's my mind. My body is either Pilates or bar, and then my soul is playing violin.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's really good. I haven't thought it through that much, but I like that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I think out of all of them, I think maybe the most important one would be body, because like you said, it gives you also that social aspect, because now you're surrounding yourself with people that also have self-improvement goals.
Yeah, totally. So I think that when you look at, like, a lot of this stuff is common sense. People know they need to go through a glow up. They need to improve their life in no contact.
Have you ever seen my glow up pictures? I feel like we should show
You
them
showed
one
me
day.
a high school picture of you on the last show.
We should show them one day.
I know. Yeah, I need to like dig some out for me too.
Mine are so bad.
Yeah, so I think some of this common sense, but it's interesting how far you've drilled it down, because I think people aren't going to take the time to do that. So that's helpful.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then photo shoot is another aspect of it, but you got to be careful how much you flex on your ex if you want them back, because there's those people that can't handle it. So for some, and this is where I have problems with it, because for me, if you have to dim your light, right? You shouldn't really have to dim your light,
Yeah.
to get a romantic partner. It should be the other way around. You should like turn that shit up all the way and then see who you get.
Well, see, in that note, is it really a flex on your ex, or is it you just flexing who you are now? Like,
No,
I think it makes it more authentic when you're flexing for yourself. Like, I'm that girl. I look good. This dress looks good on me. It's going on the internet.
I think you're right. I think that's what it is. But the
Yeah.
point is the way that the other person interprets it. And if we're in a results oriented program, that's going to get you a lesser result. If
You can't handle me. You can't have me back. Listen.
I get it.
You can't handle me. You can't go get somebody insecure, because I'm a pop it.
Yeah. I mean, that really should be the bottom line.
Yeah.
But
Because also insecure men are dangerous for women to
yeah,
date.
true.
They are dangerous. All those stories you hear about, women not being here
They're
anymore.
the ones that's going to hit you for wearing the crop top and stuff like that.
Or even worse. That's why I'm also not a fan. This is completely off topic, of my girls dating men that don't at least match their income or more. Because that insecurity and that jealousy gets dangerous. If they're not up to par mentally or physically with themselves, and you look good and they're jealous of you, that's dangerous.
I totally agree with that. Because I'm hearing all these breakup stories, and I hear that, where the other person is sensitive to the other person's status, right? And I think it's true. Women date up, men date down, in a sense, like money wise. Don't you think, in general? Like that's the way it works better.
I think it works better that way because of the way men are socialized. You guys are socialized to believe you're supposed to be in charge. And when you're with somebody that makes more, like say you're a guy making $60K and your girl makes $200K, you're not leading that household. She's making the decisions, but she has a better career. She's made decisions that got her to a higher place in life. That doesn't mean she doesn't respect you.
No, honey, your daily driver has to be the Ford Taurus, okay?
That doesn't mean she doesn't respect you necessarily,
Yeah.
but when it comes to making big decisions, she's not going to like pull back. That's why I also suggest like women dating for lifestyle, like date somebody that's already where you want to be.
Yeah.
Instead of dialing back, because it's never going to work. So I hate to say women date up, men date down, because I would never see women as like a downgrade. But
Yeah.
I do suggest that women either date I think somebody said if a man doesn't make at least
like
80% of what you make,
socioeconomic wise or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
if they're not at least 80% of what you make, like if you're not comparable, then it just doesn't work. It gets really toxic.
Yeah, I totally agree because I hear all these breakup stories and that's what seems to happen, you know.
Yeah.
And it seems that way to some extent with age too. So if the woman's older, like it's kind of weird. I don't know what you think. This is getting into opinions and stuff, but to
I'll give
me,
you mine.
it naturally works when there's like, I don't know, like what seems to me works the best is like the dude's like 10 years older than the girl.
That's like my preferred
think
age.
so?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my preferred gap.
Yeah.
I like that gap.
Yeah.
Obviously within reason. Like that's my preferred
Right.
gap now.
Hey,
as
18-year-olds. Stay away from the 8-year-olds, all right?
Right, because when you also think about like brain development and who you are at 25, you know, versus 18.
Yeah.
So there's,
Yeah.
you know, within reason, but like as a 35-year-old woman, that 10-year age gap is great for me.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is again how we're socialized. Women are taught to take on a lot more responsibility in terms of the household earlier.
Your brain matures faster, right? It's like what, like early 20s or something like that. For dudes, it's like early 30s or something like that.
I think full brain development is at 25, but I think the
for both,
capacity
I thought it was only for women.
I
at that
could
age.
be lying.
I thought that it was that for women, but for men, it's like even past that in the
I'm gonna
early
Google
30s.
it. Are you giving men a little
I'm
more
giving
leeway?
you pseudoscience. here.
What age do men's brains?
I'm pretty sure there's a
fully-
big gap. But
Development of the human brain, including that of men, is a complex and ongoing process that extends well into adulthood. While most structural and cognitive development occurs by mid-20s, some refinement and maturation continue into the early 30s. It doesn't say there's a difference between.
I've definitely heard sources that cite the differences, but you know, clearly I'm not spouting references and stuff. So
I still agree that the age gap within ethical boundaries should be.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes with that because, like, for example, take like college kids. I'll get people on these expat calls that, you know, it's like 20-year-old kid that wants his 20-year-old girl back, and it's like, it's like, this is tough, man, because you're competing with people my age that already have status and money. She could be on yachts, hanging out with, you know, whoever, and you're.
Did you know my life when I was in my 20s? Have you been stalking me, baby?
Yeah. It's like the power that you had at that age versus a guy of your same age, they're not on that level anywhere close to it. So that guy has to literally be the coolest guy in the whole fucking college.
Yeah.
Or, you know, somebody already, you know, on like star player of the team or whatever.
Or just be a good person. A lot of those guys that own yachts are not good. They're actually terrible. They have terrible social skills.
Yeah.
Terrible hygiene skills. You have to remind them to shower and brush their teeth. You know, I have horror stories, baby.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole
so
episode.
I mean, being a good person and having good social skills and actually liking women, like on a respect level, that goes a long way.
Yeah, totally. It just depends on what that person's mindset is. But like if we're just generalizing, right? It's hard to tell, you know, somebody that it's like, look, this chick's at the top of the world, like at age 20, and you're not. You're just like your top of the world is going to be 10, 20 years from now, something like that.
I agree, but I don't agree because I don't think I hit my prime until I turned 30.
Really?
Again, we'll have to go back through pictures. You have a friend over there.
Hey, what's up? You can come be on the podcast? You can come sit right here? So
I don't think I hit my like baddie, and again, I'm still getting mistaken for a 25-year-old, so I'm not mad at that.
Right.
But I didn't hit my prime until I feel like I was 30. I don't think I leaned into that energy until then.
Yeah.
So when you say on top of the world, yes, I was getting hit on by older men, but I don't think they had good intentions for me. I think a lot of them had very nefarious intentions for me, actually.
Okay, so here's a question. How many people in our age, like 30s and 40s, how many people do you think were late bloomers or were not it in the past that are more it now versus people that were more naturally it? Do you think it's disproportional? Like everybody's coming into their prime like later?
I think it has a lot to do with if you're doing the work on yourself, growing your mind, taking care of your body. Because there's some girls that I went to high school with that were stunning in high school that are less now. Versus I wasn't that girl in high school, and I would say I am now. But I think it has to do with mindset, genetics. All the guys I thought were cute in high school are not anymore. They have all fallen apart.
The question is like, how many of the people that naturally kind of had it still have it? You know, that's a study. That needs to be a study.
There's a few girls that I can think of that were baddies in high school. I actually just texted them some old pictures of themselves the other day. Like, you're still the prettiest girl I know, and you were the prettiest girl in high school. But if I had to choose, I'd rather be a late bloomer.
Yeah, because then you get the
the
trials
rest of
and
life.
tribulations, and
I get the trials and tribulations over when I'm not that cute, and then when I lean in to my full potential, my mind's there, my looks are there, my standards are there.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'd rather be a late bloomer.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, I was talking about this with my girl Katie earlier this week, and I want your male opinion on this because this happens way too often. Okay. But it happens to her so often. I mean, she's really pretty, so I guess that's why. Why do men talk to themselves in our DMs? Speaking of no contact.
That's so dumb, right?
There's been people that have been talking to themselves in her DM for like years, like actually years, like at least 3.
I can answer this. I got to access my inner simp. Hold on. Let me do that real quick.
Is it simp though? Is it simp behavior?
Yeah, it totally is. I'll tell you why. Yeah, because you get girls that you just fucking like. Like you just like them so much. And you want that girl so bad. I'm
gonna show her to you.
And it's like you should leave it alone. Like the MO for us as men in the dating world, if you know what you're doing, if you're a guy that actually gets girls,
right?
You move on. If a girl doesn't talk to you, you instantly leave it alone. You may check back in with her 3 months later, but if that doesn't go, like 1 or 2 3-month stints later, it's over.
It's been every day for like 3 years. This is her.
Let me see. Yeah, she looks good.
Yeah. I'm very shallow. All my friends are pretty. I'm very shallow. Shout out to my friends.
What? Oh my gosh. Okay.
I think she's kicking us off the pod, you guys.
Yeah. Can we do that in a second? All right.
Benny's boss is kicking us off the pod.
Right? I guess we're done. No. It's like it's hard as a guy. You see a girl and you're like that I would be happy with that for the rest of my fucking life.
Okay.
But it has no correlation to whether or not she likes you.
Okay.
It's like you see it and you're like, yes, this is it.
So it's like slightly narcissistic.
So I guess so. Yeah. Because it's like, you just like what you see.
Yeah.
But it's more than just egoic. It's like you fucking like what you see, like on a biological level.
I mean,
too,
she's gorgeous. She's stunning. So
but it's like, so I think it's like you're just hoping like something's gonna crack. But that's a guy that doesn't get girls for sure because the name of the game is you move on quick from girls that don't respond to you. And that's the
thing, though. I know who the person is. He does.
Really?
I've seen him have success in other areas. Like, I can't get into. I'll tell you off the pod.
Well, okay, there are guys out there that don't know what they're doing, but because they don't give a shit, they'll still get results, right? So he doesn't know what he's doing. He's probably maybe he's more natural socially, but like he's weathered himself to rejection, so he doesn't give a shit, right?
Yeah.
So he'll just try, and there's even times where I knowingly break the rules. I'm like, I probably shouldn't do this, but I just can't help myself.
Rules are meant to be broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
there's no fun in life when you don't break rules.
Yeah.
It's what's the phrase? No risk, no story.
But not like that. don't hit a girl up on the daily, right?
No, it's been every day for. I think it's bordering on mental illness. It's been every day for like 3 or 4 years.
Wow. So the MO is you hit somebody up, you gauge how much participation they give you back. You try to be fun. Don't like if you're lame, they're not going to talk to you for that much, So you gotta be fun. But if it doesn't go anywhere, you let it die off. You wait a week and you try again. Hey, how'd your week go?
When do you stop? Like, what's your
like it depends what it is. If it's like a girl I've already met, or is it a dating app conversation?
They met in person.
They met in person.
They met in a social environment in person. Like they didn't meet on an app and then meet in person. It was like a social group that they were both a part
Gotcha.
of, and then met in person.
Yeah, so I would get her number, whatever, get the number, go back. Maybe that night you like text
She never
her something.
gave him her number. This is DMs.
Oh, he just looked her up online or something, or like on
I mean,
Facebook.
we're in the same social group, so I think it was pretty easy to find her. But no number has ever been exchanged. This is just DMing.
So yeah, you hit her up. So you immediately tease her. You immediately go playful. Okay. So if I didn't know if this chick liked me or not, I just met her in the group and I'm like hoping, I would be like, hey, what up? It's Benny from the group, whatever. How's your night going? Whatever. She probably is going to be polite at first glance or whatever. So she'd be like, yeah, it's going good, whatever. And then I would instantly start fucking with her. I'd be like, right? Because if she plays with me back, it's in the bag.
You got it in the bag.
But if she doesn't, she's like, ha ha, whatever. It's done.
No
you already
contact.
know. Yeah. So the way I met my last wife was I'd send out video clips to girls on Facebook. So I randomly friend request all these girls off the people you may know algorithm. Okay.
Okay.
So just like add all these random girls to my friends list. Okay. The algorithm figures out what type of person that you like, so it suggests more. So
Really?
So Facebook proper, not dating, but Facebook proper becomes a dating app if you know how to use it right. And so I'd add all these girls.
My God, don't tell the men this.
I'm going to tell you guys this.
Do
I'm going to
not
put you on
tell
game.
the men.
You get them on your friends list. Now your messages deliver instead of becoming requests.
Okay.
Right? So you can guaranteed get in the inbox. And what I would do, you can't do this if you're lame. You have to be cool like me.
Okay.
You send a 10-second video clip. You're just like, hey, what's up? It's Benny. Saw you in my feed. Thought I would reach out, say hello, blah, blah, blah. And if it comes off as casual, but like authentic, like most people, that gets like a 75% response rate.
Really?
Most people, they're going to respond to that. But the problem is I'm assuming like most guys aren't going to hit you up with video, right? So that
I've never been hit up with a video. I have been with a voice message, a voice memo.
yeah, and it probably stood out to you on some.
Yeah, he had a British accent. It worked for me.
Okay, yeah. So he was it's more bold than just text, right? Yeah. So what happens is, even if you didn't, let's say you weren't attracted to that British guy, you might at least send him a message back because it took balls for him. It was polite, maybe you want to be polite back.
We spoke for a couple of hours, actually.
Yeah. So for me, if I'm getting hit back with politeness, oh, that's so sweet. Nobody's ever sent me a video message before. I'm immediately going to be like, oh, well, careful. Too many sweets will get you a trip to the dentist. Haha. Right. Because I don't want your politeness. I want to know, do you like me back?
Yeah.
So that's what he should have done, is just like start fucking with her. And if she played with him back, cool.
Yeah.
And if not, you leave her alone, because that same girl that's beautiful, she's waiting around the corner from you like some other girl is. Right. That same girl that's that level would also like this other guy.
That level beautiful. That's to you, Katie.
Yeah.
Shout out to
but
my
it's
friends.
just some other Katie, right?
Yeah.
So, but he could have that waiting for him. He's just not getting it because he's wasting his time. Like, what is it? Like, hello, every day, whatever.
Lots of fire emojis, lots of hearts, lots of damn, you look good. Lots of those.
Yeah, that's a problem too. You can't over compliment, right?
Oh, it's a lot of compliments. Wait, what do you mean you can't over compliment? You're not you're not a fan of negging, are you?
No, I don't look at things like that. But I do. I'm very sparing to compliment until I feel like it's safe, because I've had so many conversations approaching so many different people. The second they get that you want them, all interest is lost. So in a lot of time, not for people that I think you're truly a good match with, but if you're a single guy trying to get your stripes in and stuff, not saying that's okay.
This is a wholesome podcast, Vinny.
It matters for men to be experienced, I feel like.
This is for creating families and homes.
It's that the second that somebody, maybe it's for lower interest, I don't know, but the second they get that they're not going to get validation from you, that they're giving you validation, hang it up.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful to compliment too soon. You can do something light, but you can't do it so enthusiastic that they know they just have you on a leash.
Yeah.
I feel like
that's my go-to when I'm out and about, like a light compliment. Did I tell you what I do when I go out? I'll like let's say you're the guy at the bar and I'm like, oh, that's my target. This is another bar seat, so I sit in one bar seat away.
Oh, you did tell me this.
Yeah. And I give a light compliment. I'm like, you look like you have good taste. What should I order?
Yeah.
Light, because I read somewhere that men don't get complimented a lot, and so when you compliment them, it's disarming. But it can't be like a thirsty compliment,
Right?
Because then it's like they can
It's
see
gonna
right
feel
through
unreal.
that.
Yeah.
But it's like, you look like you have good taste in wine. What should I order? It's like a light, like
Yeah, I think that's great.
yeah.
But how many times are you getting compliments, right? It's like old news if some guy like hits you up with the same shit that you've heard 20 different times,
See,
right?
I actually, because I was a late bloomer, I still am like
Still
disarmed
like it?
by compliments.
Okay,
No, I'm
okay.
still like, because I used to be teased in high school,
Mhm.
and there was these guys that they played a joke on me. They told me that this really cute guy at school liked me, and I knew that they were joking. I was like, I'm an orchestra nerd, like I'm cool, but like I'm not the hottest girl here.
Mhm.
And they were like, no, he wants you to call him. And they gave me his number. And every day for like a whole week in the hallway, they were like, you didn't call him. You didn't call him. He's been waiting on you.
Oh,
So
no.
I called to say, hey, tell your friends to leave me alone.
Yeah.
That's all I called to say. And when they picked up on the other line, they were all laughing at me hysterically. Like, oh, you thought he wanted you.
Damn.
And so I think that's a little bit of the unhealed version of
That's
me.
fucked
Like,
up.
when I get compliments,
Mhm.
I'm like, is this for real?
Yeah.
Because I kind of still have that in the back of my mind. Not like fully, like I can accept a compliment now, but it just like, I'm kind of wary sometimes.
I've run into that. I talked to a girl for a while that whose parents I think were cutting her down a lot, and she's different. Like you have a healthy attitude about it. This girl. Like she really, really wanted, like as a priority, like almost like simping type behavior, like where she wanted it like on the regular, and she didn't like the playful. Like my style is, I'm gonna fuck with you. I'm gonna tease the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Okay. She didn't like it. She couldn't handle it.
She wanted compliments. She wanted to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wanted to kind of like change a little bit for her, which I think was a mistake. But I kind of wanted to see. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
It wasn't authentic to you.
No.
Yeah.
But I mean, she was a catch.
Yeah.
But for that reason, no.
I think because of what happened to me, like that story, I still will lead with like intelligence and wit and banter. And then I think it ends up working because it's like, oh, wait, I am pretty and I'm smart and I'm funny. So it ends up being a full package.
Yeah.
But even though like I'll look my best going out, I'll still in a conversation lead with intelligence and banter.
Yeah, totally.
So that would kind of work on me, like the back and forth.
Yeah,
banter. I'm like, we have sense of humor.
Right. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, yes, we all want attractive partners, but like, don't you want somebody you can have fun with too?
Yeah.
You know, being hot gets old if that's all you have.
True that. Yeah. As a guy, it's dangerous to give compliments because first of all, you can get too enthusiastic.
There's no such thing.
No, there is. There is.
Lies.
You've had plenty of guys try too hard where you got turned off for sure. That's the guy giving fire emojis to your friend Katie. You know?
I mean, and that's, we'll talk off the pod. It would have never happened to him anyway. No, what turns me off immediately is something about my personality attracts, I don't know how I want to phrase it. Insecure men will gravitate toward me to try to humble me to make themselves feel better.
I was going to say, you seem like you would attract the guy that's like the CEO that's like almost like, I don't mean this in a bad way, but I think like at first sight, like when you think about like, just like surface level only, it seems like those guys that like think they're the shit want to come talk to a girl like you.
That
right?
was the last person I dated, actually.
Yeah,
Owns his own company, very wealthy. The beginning of the relationship was great, actually. Great vacations, great everything, but was very surface level. And when it got into depth, he got really uncomfortable and started trying to bring me back down to earth. That's what he was like, I got to bring you down a few notches. And I was like, huh? And he said that, like, that was he was like, you're too high. I got to bring you down. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. So I do get a lot of, they want me to just be pretty arm candy. And then when they realize that there's a whole personality and a whole lot of intelligence behind this, then they're like, oh, I can't compete with that. Let me bring her down.
I don't understand that. I think we talked about that in the last episode, but the quiet girls that don't speak up and stuff can't do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You need somebody to.
Yeah. That's
in
the
a
thing.
toxic way or in a healthy, fun way?
I'm a fucking dating coach. I'm going to say all this funny shit. And if you can't like get like Like it goes to waste. If I say
Yeah.
funny, like I hate it when I'm on a dating app and I say something that's funny as shit.
Yeah.
And the girl's just like, ha ha, because they
Yeah.
don't get it. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, whatever. I can't even have fun with you.
We have to go out one day, but not to enter together and like see how each other does in action in public.
Yeah.
But we can't go together because they'll think we're together.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, and we have to like eye from across the room.
Have somebody follow us around with a camera. We can just do our thing and then watch the footage afterwards.
Oh my gosh. I can't give away all my tricks on camera. It's for
It'd be clips.
my clients only.
Yeah.
Client T only. Well, I know your little boss is is getting you together. Any pearls of wisdom that you want to leave the guests with?
I wasn't prepared to outro it. I just figured we would clip it out.
Oh. No, it's fine. No risk, no reward. That's mine. We out.
Sweet.